back at it again. We were gone, and now we're here. And we weren't even gone where we said we were going to go. I'm blaming that one on you.
Hello, Fly fans. Yeah, I know you are all thinking, man, they went on their vacation and didn't even do a podcast. That is not what happened. The problem started in this home. So how can you blame it on me?
Because you jinxed it.
Hey, listen, everyone in our family got sick. Everybody.
No, Drew didn't.
Oh, yeah, Drew.
Drew did
Amazing. Amazing. I even gave him the daps for that, for not getting sick. That's pretty awesome, man, when the whole family gets sick. Little baby Kyle started with it, throwing up. Did he just throw up one day?
No, he threw up a couple times.
So Roxy just threw up one day.
Yes.
And then Teresa threw up for 18 hours. I mean, constantly. She was sick. Hers was so bad, she lost 10 pounds. Chris got, like, nauseated for 24 hours. I was nauseated for 36 hours. I would have only been 24 hours myself, but I'm older than him. So it takes me a little longer to bounce back. But I'm sure glad I didn't get what Teresa had. And I want to let you all know something. Teresa and I have been married 38 years. She never got sick. In our early marriage, she had to have sinus surgery. And then, what was the other thing? Oh, a few years back, her gallbladder, she had to get that removed. And by the way, while she was having a gallbladder attack, she drove herself to the hospital in Joplin, Missouri, which is a good, hour and 10 minutes from here?
Yeah, that's about it. Well, sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, with a gallbladder attack. So any of you who've had a gallbladder attack, you now know what a beast my wife is. Pretty impressive. And you're asking what I was doing? We won't even go there. It doesn't matter. But anyway, we're back. We've rescheduled our vacation. That's going to happen.
And just leave it at that.
Yeah.
We've just rescheduled.
Yeah.
We have no plans.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Rescheduled. So I'm wearing sunglasses in here. I just had to show these off because I've changed up my style. I used to wear Oakleys all the time, and I just decided that I wanted to switch over to kind of the aviator style. These aren't 100% the aviators, but this is the highlight of my excitement. This is about the coolest thing I've done. I don't have much to talk about.
That's pretty exciting.
I don't do a lot of things. That's why it's hard for me. You're like, hey, you want to do a podcast? And I'm like, sure, you can do all the talking because
I will do the talking, man, because I come up. See, when I mention these things, since you don't know about them, you'll jump in because some of them are pretty good. So the first thing I want to say, this is for the people in this area. We've got a new car wash, Go Car Wash, and a lot of people are fussing that it doesn't get their vehicles very clean. So I am going to give you the secret to getting your vehicle very clean when you go through there. The biggest problems is bugs and stuff stuck on the front and the mirrors. You go to Walmart and you get Turtle Wax bug and tar remover. I go over to Go Car Wash. I pull in the parking lot by the vacuums. I spray that all over my front bumper and the mirrors and everything. And then I go through the car wash. It does an amazing job. And it just misses one little side area on the side of my driver's side van about 6 inches high and maybe 6 inches long, and that's it. But then even though they have those powerful blowers that about blow my windshield wipers off, I pull in with my chamois and I wipe down what it has missed.
Do that again. How big was 6 inches?
About 6 inches.
Okay.
6 inches, yeah. And so the first time I went through here, I get out with my chamois, and I step up on the side of the van, and on the roof is a big glob of tar. This was probably double the 6 inches long, 12 inches.
Tar or grease?
Well, it was like goopy oil. I mean, you could pick it up with your fingers. It was nasty.
Tar's more sticky.
Okay, no, it was like goopy.
Yeah, that's grease.
So I went to the manager and I said, "Hey, man, come see what happened." So he comes out and he goes, "Man, I'm really sorry. Let's run it through right at the beginning. I'll pay special attention," because they have a power washer right at the beginning. He got up on the roof and everything, and they got it all squared. They took pictures and everything. And then it dawned on me when I got home and spoke to Teresa, the place where I bought my vehicle from, which you can get decent deals, but their service department and their detailers don't have the best reputation. And going back to the car wash, when he sprayed it down for me, he then followed me through on the side. He walked to see if grease was coming out of any of the lines or anything, which there wasn't, because it's a brand new car wash. Not that it couldn't happen, but it wasn't happening. And then it dawned on me when I talked to Teresa, that might have been on there from where I bought my vehicle. I don't have any idea. But anyway, they made it right for me, so I just want to give a shout out to the Go Car Wash here. And if, like I say, if you're having trouble, like, man, it's not doing a good job, you got to get that turtle wax bug and tar remover. It does an excellent job. And then your vehicle will look good. It might miss a little spot here and there, but overall it'll look pretty good. What do you think? What say you?
Whether it gets the bugs off the front or not, it's still easier than me doing it. So
That's
still looks cleaner. I don't. The bugs are gonna get back on there again.
Yep.
It'll get some of them off, and then it can just, the bugs can finish off the job again.
I'm getting my money's worth, though. I've already used this one 3 times. 3 times.
You're gonna make our whole entire city's water bill go up.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Speaking of doing laundry again today, as I did yesterday.
There you go.
And what did you get?
A new washer and dryer.
What kind?
Speed Queen.
The best, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know about Speed Queen washers and dryers, Google them. Google. They're what do you call them? Commercial. They're commercial washers
commercial
and dryers that they make for the home now. And if you're tired of buying a new washer and dryer every 3 years, check out Speed Queen. You'll be happy you did. Okay. I'll jump on. You ready to jump on to the next thing? You'll like this because I'm sure you don't know about this.
All right.
Did you hear about that Korean flight with the Korean knucklehead aboard the plane, and he opens the emergency exit door while they're in flight?
How'd that go for him?
They say that he's going to possibly get up to 10 years in prison.
Nice.
Now, if he was a politician in America, he would get 0 time. But since he's over there in South Korea.
First of all, you're giving American politicians way too much credit. I guarantee you not a single one knows how to open one of those emergency exits. Guarantee you.
That is probably true. That is probably true, man. Yeah, and then, 10 years, though. I bet he didn't think that out, man.
I don't know. 10 years, kind of see. How big was the flight? Was it like a big commercial airline?
Yeah, commercial airline.
He's lucky you only got 10 years, because you think about how many lives you just endangered. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about like nobody's gonna get sucked out of the plane. That's not how that works. But when you're talking about opening.
Yeah, you could bring the plane down. I mean, what I'd like to know, because I haven't seen yet. Maybe they'll come later. What the heck was he thinking? What was he trying to do? What was on his mind that?
I don't think you're the only one who believes they can fly. So cut the man some slack.
So if you wanted to know what Chris is talking about, I believe I can fly. I absolutely believe I can fly. I don't mean in a plane. I mean me personally. And I think the only thing that is holding me back from doing it
is gravity.
Well, and I haven't figured it out yet. But once I figure it out, you guys stick with the podcast. You will be the first to see me flying. So go ahead.
Complete change. So working out, leg press. I hit a new PR, and I'm really excited about it. I'm just saying that plate weighs 50 pounds. So because I had 12.
I bet it weighs 115.
You think that plate
Yes,
weighs that much?
because I looked it up on Google, and they said from 50 to 125. Well, I grabbed that. That sucker is not 50 pounds. I bet it's 115. That seemed to be about the medium range for those leg press machines.
All right. We'll just say an even 60.
Okay, 60.
That means I leg press 600 pounds.
For how many reps?
Twice.
And we do
But I had
full
already,
reps, ladies and gentlemen.
Full reps.
Full reps.
So, and before that, I hit a new high on my squats before I even did leg press, which was 275. But I only was able to rep that once. And I did it twice, but different sets. And every time I would go back down and try and come back up, I couldn't get it. So
what I'm going to do on my squats, because this is really important, I got up to 205 for 6 reps. I'm going to go back to 135 and make sure that bar is traveling straight up and down.
see, I use the Smith one.
Oh, yeah. So it's definitely going straight up and down.
Because I really don't want to damage. Like, I want to make sure I can focus everything on my legs. So I guess it's not a true 275, but that's still for me. I've always, if lifting was school, squats are my least favorite subject. So I'm getting better at them, and I'm super excited about it. But going back to the leg press, so I did it twice, and my buddy Mickey was like, "Oh, dude, you can do more." So he put 225s on there, and I'm getting down there, and I'm hyping myself up, and I'm breathing. I'm like, man, I really wish I had some smelling salts right now, because that'd be awesome. And he goes, "You can smell my balls." So anyway, long story short, I didn't press that because I just started laughing hysterically, and I just couldn't get in the right state of mind again to.
But did you smell his balls?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
But I just thought it was funny. I'm sure they smelled pretty salty. We had been in there for a little while.
I'm going to say the Smith machine probably takes off 10 to 15 pounds. Not any more than that.
All right.
Not any more than that.
Yeah, because, I mean, the bar does weigh.
Yeah,
and it's not.
It's just that the guide, it is, I mean, it does help a little bit.
Muscles.
Yeah, it is helping a little. And and I've been saying for Chris's friend Josh, who has the podcast channel, it is not Stumper Media.
It was. He changed it to Stumper Wild.
Stumper Wild. So check that channel out, especially if you're an outdoors person. If you're an indoors person who just likes to hear a bunch of rambling, this is the channel you need to be on. If you're into camping and fishing and all that, Stumper Wild, man, check it out. And I only bring him up because he gave me the recommendations about my golfer's elbow, and which his recommendation didn't work. But what did work, and an exercise that Lee Haney used to do made me think about it. But he would grab the long bar, the 45-pound bar behind his back. He would do shrugs. So I was thinking, the reason I thought about this is Lee Haney used to get what he only described as he would feel like he would get shin splints in his forearms. And I used to get that too when I was doing a lot of curling. And he found out it's because of the easy curl bar, with the turns and everything. So he started doing all of his curling straight bar. When I started doing that, the forearm pain went away. So I was like, man, what if I grab this bar behind my back and let it just roll to the end of my fingers and then curl it up in my fingers and crank my wrist down, which would be up when it's behind my back. And sure enough, it started to alleviate that pain in my elbow. So then I went ahead and did regular curls and everything, which I have not been able to do because of the pain. So if any of you are suffering from golfer's elbow, that's the inside where you get the tendonitis. Grab that bar behind your back, let it roll to the, to your fingertips, and then roll it back up, and then bend your wrists up. And even if you do it with no weight and you have that problem, you can feel it. So I was glad I discovered that, and I love lifting. I love lifting. Some people, they don't realize how long lifting takes. not how much time you spend in the gym, but to make, I mean, you can make some significant gains right at first. I mean, it happens pretty quick, but then it really slows down, and you really have to have a love for just lifting. I love to lift.
Yeah.
Take it away, man.
My life is boring. I don't have anything going on. I go to work. Sometimes I don't go to work. And when I don't go to work, I'm playing video games and just chilling. Like I don't do anything.
Well, I'll get you going here. So I heard some people talking. Well, it was a video I watched on YouTube. This lady, the Hodge twins can get away with saying what they said. I'm going to be very politically correct. It was a black lady with her little child. And this kid might have been 4. Acting like an animal. And when one of the store people told him he needed to stop and everything, it was F you. But I mean the full blown. He said the word and everything. And they looked at the mom and they said, you need to do something about that. And she was like, what can I do? If I spank them, it's illegal and I'll get in trouble. I want all of you to know spanking your child is not illegal. In all 50 states in the United States of America, it is not illegal. They are leading you to believe it's illegal because we have a bunch of geniuses up top that come out with their bull crap, and this is why we have such horrible kids and their behaviors and the way they act. Here's what I have this written down because I can't just pop this out of my brain. Here's what the geniuses says. Oh, and by the way, if you think I'm wrong about spanking being legal in all 50 states in the United States of America, get on your local DHS, Department of Human Services, or whatever they call it, and check it out. I know I'm right because I looked it up. I Googled. Teresa and I knew that when we were working in the child care facilities and stuff. But here's what the experts, so-called experts. Children who are spanked are at a higher risk of increased aggression, mental health issues such as depression, and poor relationships with parents. Let me ask you this. Are they right, or were children better off with less aggression, less mental health issues, and better relationships with their parents when people were spanking?
I can only speak for myself. I don't.
It was better.
Yeah.
It was better. These experts are brainwashing people. They go on to say spanking increases the risk of physical injury and abuse. Now, let me show you how they play games. If you cause physical injury or abuse to your child, you're not spanking them. You're abusing them. You're abusing them. You don't want to bruise your child. You might need to bruise their ego a little bit like that 4-year-old needed. I couldn't believe, man, the stuff the Hodge twins can get away with saying. Man, we can't do that. We can't do that.
You can't. I just choose not to.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to be, I don't want to, go down that road. And
I've been given the free pass. I don't know if you knew that.
How'd you get it?
Terrell. I was like, I don't care. It's just a word.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Wow. Terrell Watson, he was on one of our podcasts. He gave Chris the free pass, so I guess it's okay.
I just choose not to.
It is. Well, just like we say about cursing, it is just a word.
Yeah.
It is just a word.
Found out today that, and this one messed with me a little bit. I have a dad bod, and I'm not okay with it. It really bothered me. Got pointed out to me, and I was like, no, you're wrong. And dude, I'm telling you, no. So I looked it up, and the spectrum for dad bod is way too big. I don't, no pun intended. But,
What dad are you talking about?
huh? Like what, dad bod?
I don't have a dad bod.
You do actually, though. You should look it up. It'll blow your mind. It might upset you. You might be upset by it. But even I do. So there's the dad bod, the typical dad bod that you might be thinking of, where it's like, heavy set, chubby, drinks beer belly and everything like that. And then there's the other side where you are in shape, but you're not defined.
Oh, you're not ripped up.
Yeah.
Well, mine's coming.
So,
I'm at 180 right now. I'm going to hit 175, and that's it.
But you'll never have a six-pack.
No, I can't.
You'll always have a dad bod.
Oh, yeah.
Look it up.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I was like, no, you're wrong. And so I looked it up, and I was like, what kind of bull crap is this? This is garbage.
So you have to have defined abs.
You gotta have the six-pack. You just ripped.
Well, what if I get
savage.
What if I drop down to 175 and carry a six-pack of beer with me?
Then you're just welcome to the party. Still gonna have a dad bod.
That sucks.
Yeah, it bothered me.
That sucks.
But don't feel bad. Like, I'm a millennial. That bothers me. So
Are you a millennial?
I just made it right at the cusp.
Yeah, but you don't
Right
act
there.
like a millennial.
No, it's true.
You'd have to be like that mom that the Hodge twins showed with her little boy. Man, and that kid was foul mouth. Shoot. I don't know how a parent puts up with that. And that is the kid who's going to go on to not be able to handle any type of discipline. He's going to be the one who shoots up a school.
We're taking bids right now. Prison.
Shoots up a school and ends up in prison because guess why?
No, that's. I'm going to throw it. Black people don't do that. Black people do not shoot up schools. They don't do that. That's not their style. If it was a white kid, I'd be all in on that.
That's true.
He doesn't know. That's a white kid thing.
That's
a white trans helicopter gendered.
And you know what white kids it normally is. Weenies.
Oh yeah.
They're weak,
yeah, for
man.
sure.
Listen, I've told you.
Anybody.
There we go.
Yep,
Listen.
Anybody who uses a firearm for that purpose is weak. I don't care who you are. You can look like the biggest man on campus, and if you use a firearm to do physical harm to people just because, you're weak.
Indeed, it's true. I was bullied in school, and one time I thought about taking my own life, but I never thought about taking a gun to school and shooting up the people. And one of the main guys who bullied me, finally, I had enough, and I just exploded on him. And I was beating him down, and it got broke up. I mean, I was beating him down, and he looks at me and he goes, "If you ever do that again, I'll kick your ass." And I was like, I mean, that's what bullies can do to you. You know, they steal your spirit from you.
Yeah.
And it weakens you. You know, and
See, I like to say crazy things if I'm dealing with people. I'll rip your dick off and shove it down your throat. Like, if you want to go, we can go there. I'm not going to fight fair. Like, it's going to be nasty.
that is nasty. That would work too, man. That would work. Oh, on a sad note, I think you heard this.
Tina Turner passed away.
Oh yeah.
Moving on. I don't care.
They called her the Queen of Rock and Roll. I didn't know she was the Queen of Rock and Roll.
I had forgotten about her until I saw it on Google.
That's I
was
never
like, all
thought
right,
about
there
her
it is.
either. I was never a fan of hers. And Lionel Richie, who's still alive, I was only a fan of his when he was still black and with the Commodores, and then then he left that and became more of a white guy.
don't
Am I
even know
allowed
who
to say that?
is. I don't. Well,
Oh,
we're
Lionel
about to find
Richie.
out.
He's one of the judges on American Idol a lot.
I don't watch that shit. Does
Oh,
he have
I-
like curly?
Yeah, he's
hair?
black.
But you said he went white.
When he left the Commodores, because when
Oh.
he was with the Commodores, they did the good,
Oh, okay.
what I like to
Good
call good
soulful
black
music?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yeah. And but what I was going to say is, so up the street from my house is a park, and it's got a nice pond, and I'm not allowed to take my dog there anymore because the ducks keep attacking her. But I was told that's what I get for buying a purebred dog.
What?
Purebred.
Oh my god. Didn't they drain that pond over there?
I don't know.
It's drained right now. I think.
I have not been up there. I heard it was getting pretty nasty. So maybe
Well, they drained because they're building a school back over there. So
Oh,
I don't know what they're doing.
They're not going to take the. They're going to fill it back up, though, aren't they? I mean,
I hope not. Less mosquitoes. What do you think?
that's true. That is true.
Get rid of it.
That is true.
We don't need it here.
That is true. Let me see if I covered my stuff that I have. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put them on blast until they make it right. Seriously, you people, share our videos. I'm begging you, subscribe, share it, because I want to put these people on blast. We've got a company that came in called FastWire, and it's for new internet and all that.
Fiber
optics.
Internet.
So, of course, it's underground, and I think I told you guys this before. Teresa and I completely remodeled our home. Everything, even the electrical, is 70% all new. We didn't do some of it because the electrician told us not to. It'd be way too hard to get at and way too expensive. And it still cost me $7,000, so I'm glad I took his advice. But anyway, even the water lines going out the street, the sewer lines and everything. Well, FastWire bust a hole through my new sewer line. Well, 5-year-old sewer line. And then they say to me, we can repair it, or you can get your own plumber to repair it. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but when you're dealing with sewer lines and water lines and all that, I personally want a professional plumber handling my stuff. So I said, I'll get my plumber. And they said, okay. So I did. It was $2,345 that I paid cash. And now I want to change over from Fidelity to FastWire, but I will not do it as long as they owe me that money. June 6th is going to be 90 days since that happened, since I paid the money and I'm waiting to get paid back. So I'm putting them on blast, because if this is going to become a big deal, then I'm going to let people know not to do business with them. But if it's taken care of, when I talk to them, I'm going to call them tomorrow and tell them that I want a date for when I'm getting my money back. And the reason I'm saying this, I'm talking about all of us, you guys watching and everything. If we owe a company money and we tell them, oh, we'll get it to you 90 days or so from now on, or from there on, how do you think that would fly?
Not very well.
And that's why I'm putting them on blast. When I talk to them tomorrow, if everything goes good, then I will give them a shout out, just like I did for Go Car Wash.
Yeah, the city turned off our water like a week and a half ago, and we found out like when I was getting up and getting ready for work, there was no water. So she called the water department and water company, and they were like, we don't know why that's turned off. Like your bill's paid, so we'll send somebody out there. And I'm thinking to myself, great, the next door neighbor tweaker for some unknown reason messed with my water line, right, and just shut it off. I know that might be a crazy thought, but I've seen dumber things happen. So anyway, I go out there and I check it. There's not even a lock on the water line. So I'm like, okay, yeah, somebody definitely messed with it, like, because the water company, like, last I knew, if they shut your water off, they put a lock on it. So I just turned it back on. And so I told Roxy, I was like, hey, just call the water company. Let them know that I turned it back on. It's good to go. So when she calls back, the lady was like, yeah, we turned it off because you were on the list for not paying your bill. And, of course, Roxy was like, the last lady we just called said that it was paid. Because I did pay it, but not me. Roxy paid it. But obviously it wasn't within it. Man, they're quick with that. I thought they sent out a notice like, hey, you haven't paid your water bill.
Actually, it says right on the thing, this is what you owe. If you're late, then you owe this. They just up the price.
Well, I guess they're cracking down or something, because they just came out and turned it off. So Anybody, if you work for the water department and you're the one who did that, you're stupid and come fight me.
Well, hey, it's good they didn't put a lock on it because you turned it right back on.
Grinded through that sucker. I have a Dremel. Get out of here. But anyway, they told her if that ever happened again, that it'd be a $140 fine.
For turning on the water?
Yeah, because we tampered with it. And I'm thinking, you don't want me to tamper with it. Put a lock on it. But I just lied there because I'll just cut it off with a Dremel. Suck my nuts. I can't stand this. I hate our government. All of it. I hate all of it.
Yeah, they...
I've been in a bad mood for a while.
you know, the problem is government and businesses are above the law, and we're not.
Yeah.
And that's why that's why a person can take over 90 days to pay me my money back. But yet, if I owed FastWire money, I bet they wouldn't give me 90 days.
Somebody asked me the other day, they were like, if somebody came to you and offered you had to flip a coin. Heads, you got $500 million. Tails, you got shot right in the head, executed. Like, just killed right on the spot. Would you do it? Absolutely. I would flip that coin. Would you?
No.
You have a 50% chance of being $500 million richer, and then, obviously, the 50% chance of dying.
Who's flipping the coin?
See, that's what I asked, too, because I would grade it make my odds greater, because I know that if I'm really good at, like, flipping it, and then if it's on the face and I flip it, I can normally get it back on the face.
Well, I'm also worried if it's somebody else flipping the coin, is it a two-headed coin?
Oh, no. You get to see the coin. Like, it's a...
Okay. No, I wouldn't do it.
I would.
Now, I'll tell you why. If I was in a financially strapped situation, then I might do it.
Biden's still president. Hang in there.
Oh, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Matter of fact, I got kind of grumpy the other day with your mom, and and she always knows when I didn't do anything towards your mom, but she can tell when I'm frustrated and everything. And when I get frustrated, it's money. That's the only thing that frustrates me. And but it's not because we don't have money. It's because these people owe me money. The guy who got my money from me and never got it back. All those things. I'm like, this pisses me off because I would never do a person that way. Do you know why people used to loan me money? Like my buddy out in Shell City.
Because you paid him back with interest.
Because I pay him back, and I pay him back quick.
Yeah.
Quick.
I just been in a mood. It didn't help the other day. We were driving back from Joplin, and this individual, we were coming through Webb City, and this individual, I was in the left lane, they were in the right lane, and we just passed the roundabout right before you hit that on-ramp to get on, and they were in the right lane, and they just turned their blinker on and didn't even care that I was there. Like, they saw me. I watched them look over their shoulder. I watched them check their mirrors, and he just came over. And I was like, no, sir. So I sped up, and I got right next to him, and he sped up too. He tried to stay in front of me, and he quickly changed his tune when he saw who was looking at him. And it was funny, too, because I don't know if it was his girlfriend or his wife was like, just leave it. Just leave it. Because I've been going through, so I've been pretty, if he would have pulled the car over, I would have beat him. Like, I was so mad. The whole situation, like, quit being stupid. Just because you turn your blinker on doesn't mean you automatically get the right of way. Plus, I'm going to drive faster than you anyway. Wait an extra 3 seconds, and I'll be in front of you. And there's plenty of road for you to wait and get over.
To be fair, could maybe you have been in his blind spot, and when he looked, he actually didn't see you?
No.
No?
I would give him that if I was a little farther back, but he was like just barely past me.
Oh, okay.
Just a little glance, and you're gonna see him there. So,
and man, that on the van, I guess you at work, do they have the spots that show up in the mirror?
Yeah, the triangle.
That's nice, man.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
That is not. It's nice because.
And he had that as well, just so you know. He was driving one of the Ford Escapes.
Oh,
one of the newer
then he
ones.
definitely knew you were there.
Yeah, he knew I was there.
Yeah. How old was he?
My age, maybe a little younger.
Oh, that would have been fair.
Yeah, fair game.
Yeah.
I would have ripped his dick off and shoved it down his throat.
You got to get over this anger stuff,
I
man.
can't. No, people suck. People are stupid, and why do I have to put up with it?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because I watched a movie last night that I've only watched for the second time, because the first time I saw it, I said, I cannot watch this again. It is brutal. I watched The Passion of the Christ last night, and, man, when they are beating him, man, the tears started rolling from my eyes, and I thought to myself, this Jesus did all this, and what do I do for Jesus? Not much. Not much, man.
That's fair.
So that was hard. That's a hardcore movie.
Yeah.
That's a hardcore. And then they said they were going to come out with a sequel, that Mel Gibson was doing a sequel called The Resurrection, but I guess it never came to be.
I've been seeing that crap on TikTok. Prove to me that God's real. I don't have to prove shit to you. I told you what God is about. I've given you that example. It's not up to me anymore. It's up to you. All right?
It's so easy.
I hate those
The
douchebags.
proof is so easy, because everything, your motorcycle right there, if I showed that to somebody and I said, you see that motorcycle? And they said, yeah. And if I said, it just happened, they would be, what do you mean? I said, it made itself. They would call me a flat out fool. That is so uncomplex compared to nature itself, compared to our very eyeball. If there's a designer for that motorcycle, all you got to do is look at everything and know there's a designer, man.
Oh, for sure. But then you got the ones that, well, how do you know that's the God that you're serving? How do you know? Like,
Well,
I just that's what I'm saying. That's the stupid questions that they ask.
you know what my answer to that is? Because my God is the only God who doesn't require me to do something. He did it all. Every other religion, including Catholicism, which believes the same Apostles' Creed I do, but Catholicism, they believe salvation is part of works, as part of your salvation. Whereas a Protestant, I believe that salvation is the free gift of God, and when God's Spirit resides in me, then works naturally occur.
Yeah.
And that is the gift of God. That's when you know you have the Holy Spirit in you. Like, a lot of people would watch you and me and say, those guys curse, they're not Christians.
I have a problem with just that they argue. You would present them with that common sense knowledge, and they make excuses, and it just, shut up. You've already made your mind up, so why are you telling people to
That's true.
convince me that your God's real? I'm not convincing you of shit. You're going to burn in hell. I have no remorse for you. I don't care. There's a good chance that, who knows, I might get to the pearly gates and God's like, nope. But, like, I'm trying to do what I can, but I can't stand people like that. There's people getting in these lives with them and trying to have this debate with them, and they've already made up their mind. Just stop talking to them. Let them fall on their own. Like, don't even waste your time. You've already presented them with knowledge. You've already sprinkled that little bit of seed on them, and let it go where it goes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true.
Don't cast pearl before swine.
Exactly. But you got to know who the swine are. I mean,
they're pretty easy to find. Easy to point out.
There was a guy back in North Carolina that they were doing evangelism explosion. I didn't do it, but your mom was involved in it, and they would judge somebody on a scale of 1 to 3 whether you thought you could talk to them and minister to them. And so your mom was talking to the pastor on the phone, and they said, well, what about such and such? And she goes, well, he's a 3, meaning, yeah, he doesn't want to hear any of that. And I yelled out, no, he's a 10, because I was like, yeah, that guy doesn't want to hear nothing about Jesus. But something happened, and it caused me to come home from work, and he was the cause of it. And instead of just lashing out on him, I went out in the shed and beat on my wooden dummy, and then I came back, and he was standing there. Man, I'm really sorry. I said, look, don't sweat it. He goes, man, I'm going to pay for your car window. Busted out the car window.
Yeah.
And this is a grown man, by the way. And I said, you know what, man? You and your family, you got a young child. You're not in the position where you can pay for my car window. I said, I'm just glad to know it was you who did it, because at the time I was working at the prison, and there were inmates who would get out and who were in that area. And I was like, you know, my wife didn't know who did it at first. And, you know, she called the police. And when the police were there, then this neighbor came over and he admitted to it. But yeah, I wanted to lash out, but I know it was God's Spirit pushed me out into the shed, and I beat on the wooden dummy, and then I came back out and I had to talk with them. Well, I said, hey man, I'm glad it was you. This way I know my wife and my children are safe and I can go back to work. So I went back to work. When I got home at 10 o'clock that night, he was standing there right there at the front porch. And he was just so blown away by the way I spoke to him and everything that we talked. And he said to me, man, I just want to give my life to Christ.
For sure. That I understand. But wasting your breath, you can be a shining example without preaching to them.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't waste your time with these people who are like, prove to me. I don't have to prove anything to you.
There are some people, though, like David Dawkins. He's a big-time atheist. And, you know, he wrote the book, The God Delusion. So David Berlinski, who I pray for, who's not a Christian, wrote The Devil's Delusion in response to Dawkins' God Delusion. David Berlinski's a very intelligent man, and the book is so, matter of fact, I ordered it last night because I read it once, and I was like, man, I got to get this book again. And David's not a Christian, so of course I pray for him. And then there's a guy named Jeff Lyons who debates Richard Dawkins. You guys can find this stuff on YouTube. And these guys are so intelligent that it's good to see them back these atheists into corners that they can't get out of. Doesn't mean they come to salvation. It's just nice to see them get schooled, because a lot of atheists are very intelligent. There's a lot of atheists a lot more intelligent than me. And, you know, they might come up with something that I don't.
But they're atheists.
Oh, yeah.
Can't be that smart.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what I mean. They'll have the right words to trip me up, and, you know, I just won't know what to say. At least I think. But people like Jeffrey Lyons and David Berlinski, guys who know mathematics and science and everything like that, man, whoo, they're awesome to watch.
I've never come across an atheist that stumps me.
I'm saying,
because the ones that I come across, the hardest thing that they hit me with is, it comes down to their own pride is what's getting in the way. Like it doesn't phase. I don't know. I've just never been stumped by an atheist.
Yeah, and you know, and that I'm saying I'm probably not going to run into somebody like David Dawkins, or you're right. The normal atheist, no, but I'm talking about somebody who's got a background in science and all that. They might put me in a position where I couldn't give an answer, you know. Not from a God. I could always give a godly perspective answer, but they might be talking about some type of science stuff that I just have no idea what they're even talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, thanks, Fly fans.
Yeah. We'll have to show them the keychains this next episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen them. Your mom's seen them.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen them.
It's all right.
All right.
This was a longer one.
Yeah.